Sponsors. New. New year equals new sponsors. Sponsor contracts. Okay. We go from festive holiday to feast your eyes on our new main sponsor, Lit Cola. Beverage company known for their highly carbonated cola. Their coffee cola challenge is trending on social media. We did have some talks with Score and Lay's, but we couldn't agree to terms. But try to comprehend this compensation. $800,000 per month over 2 years. 800,000 times 12 months is $9.6 million per year. 19.2 over a 2-year span. So, we've had a primarily white main sponsor. Now we have a primarily red main sponsor. Both colors of the Canadian flag represented. So what else is new? Also red. We'll be getting discounts on towel production for 2 years. So there was some demand for t-shirt merchandise. That's not in the new sponsorship shuffle, but we did get another T word. So with these new towels, rabid fans, fresh out of the shower, can now rub the Baron's likeness all over their damp, naked bodies with his personal endorsement of the practice. Picture the promos. And at the bottom, Zaka TV broadcaster. Broadcaster known for its unique blend of hard-hitting journalism and pro wrestling programming. Internet streaming brings their content to a global audience. As mentioned in the Christmas show, we saw more than one broadcast table ringside, which was revealed to be evidence of international coverage of our wrestling brand. So, also discounted production for 2 years, photo collection. We're at the very bottom now. And if you doubted how big a star is the Canadian sensation, Alan Hawkins, remaining with the promotion, is Zaka's sponsorship requirement. So that's the biggest minor sponsor at $12,000 per month, as much as the other 3, which are all 4,000s combined. So speaking of broadcast sponsorship, also new broadcast contracts. Our broadcast deal has been extended for another year. That's why the second item there. So once the first one runs out, the second one kicks in. It's identical. So, if you do your math, we have a combined over $1 million per month from sponsorship alone. We saw the Lit Cola, 800,000 plus a few extras, and then the broadcasts sponsorship, which has been ongoing. Another $300,000 on top, so over $1 million per month. That's some serious money. So, more about money. Which was dealt with in the consultation section. So we agreed to raise requests for 7 wrestlers. So New Year brings new salary totals, apparently. And it was mostly tag teams that were asking for raises, including Team Terrible, Team Canada Blue, the original 2, and Team Satan. So mostly tags. So what else? Promotion data. Promotion stats. I'm blocking, I'm sure. Move myself. So if you look in the bottom right there, very bottom right, our promotion rank has improved to 5th. We were the 7th last year. We're now the 5th ranked promotion in the wrestling industry, so we are rising. And one more thing before we get to the match rundown. View title belts. Canada's 6-man tag team championship. So we see there, Jin Dynasty has 2 title defenses for this reign, and we'll be addressing that shortly. Not just new sponsors, but also New Year's resolution. Big Titan, Canada's heavyweight champion, cuts a promo. His New Year's resolution: to establish a new record for Canada Heavyweight Championship title defenses. Since 2 was not safe, apparently, Big Titan proclaims he must have 3. So, if he does not establish at least 3 defenses in this reign, he will leave the Canada Wrestling Promotion and enter free agency. He was one of the original 6 Canadians in this promotion. If he doesn't live up to his pledge, he says he'll be gone. Big stuff. Big ambition for a big man. Big Titan. But before any of that, as we saw in December, the irredeemable simply could not be redeemed, even on Christmas Day. Shota remains Canada's junior champion. So, 'tis the season for regrouping, as Christian must prevail in a #1 contender match before he can try again to make Shota see the light. The champion, meanwhile, will rest a sore neck. As you can see in his profile, it's red. So the opener, as I like to do, get some energy in the place early with the juniors. Christian versus Mexico Miguel. Match 2. Speaking of number 1 contender matches, as we mentioned, Jin Dynasty now has 2 defenses of the 6-tag championship. One against Team Canada Blue and the other against Sharpshooter Syndicate. So who to give the next opportunity? Let the 2 contenders battle for the right. So that's the 3-on-3 number 1 contenders match for the 6-tag championship. Bret Hart, Canadian sensation, blue hair, versus Team Canada Blue, Wolf Hockfield, Kenny Omega, Big Mike. Oh, and fun fact, the Sensation, having won the Battle of the Masks, finishes out year 2 with a win-loss record of 8-5. Pretty good follow-up to his 5-2 from year 1. Overall, you could say the Sensation is a winner. But what does Jin Dynasty do in the meantime? Well, out Will Stewart on account of poor condition. So winning the DFW tag title took its toll. Rest is required. Therefore, the DFW Tag Championship will not be defended. And in light of that, we have a championship captains match. Satan's General versus the Trick Prince. First time ever in singles action against each other. And by the process of elimination, match 4. Black Dragon God versus Deathblow Ken, as Team MMA Japan keeps their skills sharp with another sportsmanlike match between allies. So don't worry, some titles actually will get defended. Half actually, 3 out of 6. Beginning with rematch for the DFW Heavyweight Championship, as the $50,000 champion, Ted Axel, who put the title on the line against Ace Matt Gibson. The Ace, fresh off of turning over his title to the Wise Man as the entry fee into this promotion, since Gibson would otherwise not qualify by my pre-established criteria, which is to be either Canadian or related to a Canadian, or wear the flag colors, the red and white. But this time, it's for real. The Ace will have a legit chance to win back the belt that he anchored back in DFW. So, more title matches. Canada's Heavyweight Tag Team Championship. Match 6, Team Terrible. Which, if you thought they were dominant in year 1, here were their records, their win-loss records for year 2. Jason the Terrible, 12-1. The Wrestling Bear, Terrible Ted, even better, 13-1. Because he had one more match than Jason, because Jason had that rest month after he suffered wear and tear when this team lost the tag titles at the Canada Day Spectacular Version 2. So, unbelievable records. 12-1, 13-1. So what can you say? Extraordinary. And they will defend their titles. It very much is their titles. Against Team Owens, who just lost the DFW tag in December. But since that title is postponed, these boys can battle the Bear for the biggest belts. So what is that? Failing upward? You lose a minor title, you get a shot at the... Let's not dwell too much on that. And finally, the main event. For Canada's Heavyweight Championship. Strongheart will challenge Big Titan. Big Titan, speaking of records, was 9-3 for year 2. Pretty good. Even better was his singles record. Within that record, that he had 5-1 as a singles wrestler within that 9-3. So a very worthy heavyweight champion. Strongheart has built a bit of a resume for himself, maybe somewhat under our noses. So not only did he overcome the missing link, winning 2 out of 3 matches, he also outlasted his rival. Because the missing link needs time off. There he is, also in poor condition. And Strongheart finished out year 2 with a win-loss record in singles of 3-1. Pretty good. So, after mentioning more than once that Strongheart is better than he might seem, I finally have a solid case to give him a top opportunity here in Canada. Good luck. Also out, to the chagrin of millions, the Baron Charles, whose condition is also poor. Understandable. He was beaten up rather badly on Christmas Day. Maybe as much in poor condition mentally as anything else. The shell shock of having gotten wiped out, which probably nobody saw coming, after a long and successful title reign. But speaking of Christmas, again. Big Titan, feeling a bit bad for not contributing to the Christmas spirit last month, will wear his alternate red and gold. Why not commemorate that championship triumph with Christmas colors? So those are the matches. Let's now consider the venue details. On the right side. So we could stay at this rural large, 30,000. As you can see, we're right near capacity. But at only a $40 ticket price and expense of $210,000, we're only looking at $1 million in attendance profit. Yeah, I mean, only $1 million. I know that it's normally nothing to scoff at, but, and it's a big but, if we instead go back to the urban medium, 15,000, eyeing the top right there to see the numbers difference, we can charge top dollar, $100 ticket price, and at a lower expense of $120,000 for a profit of $1.33 million. So that's an extra $1.33 million we'll be drawing in. So we can't pass on that, obviously. Again, we might consider, I've mentioned this before, you might consider a bigger venue to gain greater merch sales, but in this case anyway, it wouldn't nearly make up for $1.33 million. So this is absolutely the way to go. So speaking of merchandise, let's get to that. Confirm. Management. Produce merchandise. We'll start on goods. As you probably saw on the sponsorship screen, we still have Jumbo Mart for another year, giving us discount on goods production. One more year of that. So we only had 2,600 units, so roughly, last month at the 30,000 attendance venue. So we would have sold way more if we had more stocked at the time, but the timing just didn't work out for that. So now that we're back to the 15,000, I'm again reluctant to pull the trigger on manufacturing 10,000, because what if we're going to stay at the 15,000 venue for a couple more months? So again, we're going to go with a 5,000 on that. Just until we feel like we're staying at the 30,000 person venue. I just feel like it's just safer to just stick with the 5,000 for now. Let's wait until we've truly progressed. Like, we were at 30,000 last month, but that was a truly special card. We had all our guys healthy, all these titles on the line. Like every guy, every title, so it made for a more, like a bigger draw. We're back to reality now. A few guys sitting out, a few titles have to be held out, so back to the 15,000 venue for now. And so as long as we're still hovering around that 15,000, I'd rather just stick with the 5,000 production on this. So that's at a $12 unit price. So we'll sell probably roughly half that. So if we go up to our other items here, if you remember, we now have discounts for towels and photo collection. So we'll produce those too. Now, if you notice, their sale prices, $20 and $22 respectively, we're now getting into like double the price of items. So it seems to me we should produce in accordance with that. Because if these things cost more, than goods, it stands to reason that we won't sell as many units of them because they're of higher cost. I mean, at least I'm supposing that. Let's find that out together, shall we? So rather than commit to a full 5,000 like we did with the goods, we're just going to go with 3,000 because they're higher priced items. So 3,000 photo collections at the 10% discount. Thank you, Zaka. And our other red sponsor. 10% off towels. Also do 3,000 of that. We'll see how the sales go for those things. All right. That seems like the sensible way to go. Stick with 5,000 goods while we're still at the 15,000 menu. Slightly less stock produced for the higher priced items. So I think we're good. Yeah. I believe we're ready for matches. Year 3, January. Match 1. Number 1 contendership for Canada's Junior Championship. So, here he is, the Canadian representative in the junior division, wearing his blue for the first time. Perhaps after losing on Christmas Day of all days. He's a little bit blue. Maybe he's a bit down. So he's wearing his emotions, maybe not on his sleeve because it's his pants that are blue, but well, wearing his emotions on his pants sleeve. Anyway, Mexico Miguel takes his spot on the newly minted Lit Cola main sponsorship logo. Is Christian ripe for the picking if he's feeling a bit blue? Hopefully he's not feeling a bit sorry for himself as he eats a body slam there, because I'm sure Miguel is more than motivated to get this win. Body slam out of the ring. Good look at the double red there. And they're facing the same way, the two sponsors. Very cool. I was worried about that. I was worried that the colors might not, the way the, oh, look at that. We get the 3 shot of the 3 different red. There's a match going on, but you see the 3 different red colored sponsors for Canadian flag. I think we saw a DDT in there. I'm just so enamored by the sparkling new sponsors and all the money that comes along with it, of course. Jawbreaker. Apologies for cutting that match short. It was nothing special, and I decided a better use of that segment would be to end it on that high note of introducing the cool new sponsors and how their logos would have presence around the ring. So. Medium story short, Christian picks up the win. He's the #1 contender for Canada's Junior Championship. He will challenge Shota again. Second #1 contenders match. This time, to determine who will challenge for the 6-tag championship. First, about to enter the blue corner, Team Canada Blue. Big Mike, Kenny Omega, Wolf Hockfield, your captain, and a bang for good measure. Will Kenny Omega and Team Canada Blue bang their way into a title match against Jin Dynasty, the champions? Or will it be this team, Blue Hair from Japan, the Canadian sensation, Canadian legend Bret Hart, the Hitman? Who gets the shot? The Wolf starts out against the Hitman, who can lead their team. So Bret Hart there, perhaps, sidestepping the boundaries of good taste a bit there with the eye rake, but as we've established, he's not a young man anymore. He's up against a larger, stronger man. Try to take whatever advantage you can, I suppose. And it's been all Hitman so far. He's controlled the action. And Wolf, seeing that's happening, decides, maybe a different guy will have more success. And Bret Hart, having dominated the early going, tags out. And then he gives Kenny Omega something to remember him by. Body slam, elbow drop to the face. Kenny responds, starting to elbow the crap out of members of the Sharpshooter Syndicate. Neck breaker. Sensational neck breaker. Eye rake. Dragon screw leg whip. Omega, who had been a teammate of the Canadian sensation when they were Team Canada holding the 6-tag. Big Mike, big body slam. Big Mike, a man who's been at the top of this promotion several times and has been struggling lately for relevance. Press, slam, tosses the sensation. Snap, suplex. Big body slam again. Action moves toward the middle as they fight over the Lit Cola main sponsor logo. Exchanging strikes. Blue Hair hold, a sleeper hold. Into the blue corner, undaunted though. Blue Hair probably feels right at home in that corner. It is his color. Sharpshooter is what his team was formed upon, is the mastery of that move. Blue Hair just unconcernedly battling Team Canada Blue in the blue corner, but now he's been tossed out of the ring. He's in bad country, but escapes easily enough. Spoke too soon. He's still deep in the wrong part of town, fighting his way out of it again, though. Another snap, sharpshooting, suplex, tags off to the originator. And that was the 3D, because it's 3-on-3 action. Bret Hart being the originator, as far as I know, at least of calling that move the sharpshooter. Perhaps someone had developed the hold prior to him. I don't know. I don't know the history. Leave in the comments if you know. Do you know? Did someone do that sharpshooter move in whatever name it could have been called prior to Bret Hart. So I know Sting had the Scorpion submission, but which came first? Because Sting goes back a long ways too. European uppercut, followed by elbow drop. Ankle lock submission attempt. Two-on-one double team vertical suplex out of the ring. Omega is out there in pursuit. And now the Wolf is as well. DDT out on the floor. Now Wolf is going to see if he can take a turn out of this. Into the guard wall. Team Canada Blue, the original two, are just mauling Blue Hair outside there on the floor. Blue Hair desperately fights his way out of there, gets the heck back in the ring. Going for the tag, but he was cut off. Big Mike with some athleticism for the big man. Kick to the side of the head. Running strike. Was that like some sort of knife edge strike? I'm not sure. Anyway. Too big to be tossed around there by Blue Hair. Big Mike gets the counter backdrop. Now an assisted powerbomb. And the rolling top rope leg breaker. Leg drop. Might have broken his leg trying that, but no, it was a leg drop. Big Mike booting his way out of trouble. Taking out the other big man. Team Canada Blue assisted powerbomb. Wow. Big Mike cheering. Wow, look at this combination top rope action. Taking turns on the fallen Bret Hart. Wow, that was hard to follow. It was just so rapid and ferociously athletic. Pretty impressive to these big men who move around like that. Here's the sharpshooter. Executed by the sharpshooting captain himself. It is still a touch early though. 12.5 minutes. Running leg drop. I might get the move right this time. At 12.5, a bit early for a submission. In 3-on-3 action. First 13 minutes. Much more exciting than the last 18. So just to keep the quality high, I'll cut it there. And you see Big Mike gets the finish off the press power slam. Can he and Team Canada Blue finish off the title reign of Jin Dynasty? Match 3. Speaking of Jin Dynasty, the man who shall face the leader of Jin Dynasty in singles action. The leader of Dramatic Fight Wrestling's Tag Team Championship. Satan's General. And here comes the Trick Prince now. We just saw the tag team DFW captain. Now we see the captain of Canada's 6-tag championship. Captain versus captain. Mostly for bragging rights. And who knows? Maybe if these guys impress, there might someday be singles opportunities possible. I mean, heck, Stanley Adams, Satan's general, as he hits the low blow, and then understandably wins a test of strength after that, as Trick Prince has something to recover from. Headbutt using the black face paint, the evil face paint. Yeah, Stanley Adams was one of the contestants in the original Canada Day Spectacular. That was for the heavyweight championship, the singles, top singles title. So it is possible to get in there. So now the Trick Prince has recovered from that low blow and is now winning the test of strengths. Tests of strength. Arm twists, shoulder breakers. Oh, I thought we might have had a ring out there, out of the ring. But no, the Trick Prince settles for the one-man gang. Forward face suplex thing. It's got to be a name for that. Could just call it the one-man gang and leave it at that. Keep it simple. One-man gang slam. One-man gang slam. Anyway, body slam across the Lit Cola main sponsor logo. Down low again. Dirty tactics on display. Reverses. Vertical suplex. I think we've seen pretty much these men are even in terms of strength. They seem to had about it. I'm trying to be serious here, Satan's General. Must you do things that are going to make me laugh? Again with the low blow, by the way. That's what... Anyway. Double arm suplex. Goes for that discus clothesline, but no. Misses with that one, but right on the mark for the nut crush. The 5-minute mark. Forward pile driver. So it's General versus Prince / would-be Emperor. So from a purely title perspective, in terms of not title belt, but your designation, what's more prestigious? I guess the Trick Prince is fashioned himself as royalty, which of course is more prestigious. But Stanley Adams is a general, which means he's as militarily proficient as you could expect. So who's favored? Who knows? Fittingly, they are both the leaders of championship teams. So, counter on what was probably another pile driver. Backdrop out of the ring. The Trick Prince, who's kept it a lot more clean this match than the General has, does not pursue his man outside. Monkey flip out of the turnbuckle. I don't think that Jin Kiritani, the Trick Prince, has ever portrayed himself as a nice guy, as we see the eye rake. Okay, so he's capable of underhanded deeds. But so far, most of the dirty play has come from Satan's General. So if one were desperate to cast this match as hero versus villain, one might favor the Trick Prince, because he's been less dirty. 9 minutes. Mounted strikes. Satan's General escapes. He does not escape the body slam, however. Attacking the knee does the Trick Prince. Now attacking the knee from the backside. Huh. Spinning sidekick. Looked like he was going for the crotch there. Looked like he tried to hit Satan's general low. And the general says, I'll give you some low. Damn it. Do that to me. Back to the center of the ring. More glory for Lit Cola. So the shoot, takedown, more mounted strikes. Back to the ball grab. How much nut clutches can one man endure? As we hear that revolting release. Again, Satan's general wise to that spinning sidekick. Trick Prince might want to abandon that. It hasn't worked out for him.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I'm going to say accumulation of low blows took its toll. Satan's general doesn't mind operating outside the rules. Many fouls sprinkled out the contest, but I guess no one thing severe enough, nor was the accumulation enough to earn a disqualification. And so, you know, I guess no justice in the world, you might say. The general cheated just about every chance he got, and he ends up with the victory and the glory. So, there you go. Happens. As we enter match 4, if you consult the top right there, you'll see that we have an average card rating of only 4% short of perfection. Can we keep this greatness going? With Black Dragon God versus Deathblow Ken. Back to singles action. As I reach for my whip-ass record book, I can do a bit of a quick review of these boys in singles action against each other. In the early months of year 2, they had several matches in which looks like Black Dragon God took 2 out of 3 of those singles contests between 6-tag championship rivals. So they were not 6-tag champions back then. But after that, they reformed their 2-man tag. Did that for a while, and then later in the year, Ken equalized the singles series 2 apiece on year 2. So they shown themselves to be equals in year 2. So we saw the belly-to-belly suplex by Deathblow across the Lit Cola main sponsor logo. So that was puts a bow on their singles rivalry over the course of year 2. Of course, after they leveled their series at 2 apiece, they joined the Trick Prince to form version 2 of Jin Dynasty. And that trio is merrily moving along as your Canadian 6-tag champions. Though they're not Canadian. They will be defending against Canadians. As we saw earlier, the all-Canadian team, Team Canada Blue, earns the shot. Oh, looks like Black Dragon God went for the ankle pick there. It was stuffed, but then Black Dragon God executes some sort of backdrop slam ultimately, so all's well that ends well. Trip into the, well, semi-mount. It's technically the guard when you're mounted, but the legs, the defender's legs are around you. It's not considered a mount position. That's considered the guard position. If you're past the legs, than its mount. Anyway, if you like UFC, you appreciate that. This Team MMA Japan shows you some stuff.
Give up.
Both men go for the shot and just eat air. And that time, stuffing the shot in style was Deathblow. He cinched in the guillotine, the standing guillotine choke. Huh, definitely these men are going for ground tactics. And having been unsuccessful more than once, Ken decided to go back to the striking, the kick there. Now he finds himself on his back. Speaking of kicks, maybe they had this understanding that we're having a bit of trouble establishing dominance either way from grappling. Why don't we have a test of striking so you can emerge from that? As I wipe a smudge from my monitor. Probably shaking my camera perception. Anyway, whatever. Wow. Jumping, spinning, sidekick by Deathblow Ken. Eats only air though. Reversal. On vertical suplex. Deathblow Ken drives the midsection down.
Give up. Give up.
I think we found that's what these men tend to try to do to each other is wear down through submission holds. Gas pedal, grinding the heel into the crotch. And these guys are less likely to finish each other through, through a pinfall or through, battering each other. So it's more likely to occur with a move like that. We are in the ropes, however. Kick down low, and then Ken Nobi there. And Black Dragon God attempted the shot, but he's got a hold of Deathblow Ken now with a driving the knees. So there's the mounted position. When you're past the legs, when the top man is past the legs. Ken gets past the guard in turn, cinching in the armbar. Another armbar, this time from the underneath position. So, Black Dragon God stymied the kick there by landing the takedown, but then he finds himself in another armbar. Ah, torture grind. Like this move. It just looks painful, doesn't it? 9 minutes in. So across the Lit Cola main sponsor logo again, as Ken looks for a spotlight style submission victory. Front and center of the ring with all the seat. Yeah, Black Dragon God doing some good work on those low kicks. Shot is stuffed. Ultimately, backdrop slam. Deathblow working those high knees down into the gas pedal again. Underside armbar. Counter kick there. Yeah. Very exciting striking. I wish you guys would do a little more of this. Barrage of kicks landed by each man. Deathblow goes back to them. Goes to the knees this time. Gas pedal again. Just holding the victim's leg secure while you just press the heel into the crotch. Seems like a rather impolite move, doesn't it? Ooh, combination kick. Ended by Black Dragon God. Backdrop slam again. We've seen that several times. Almost feeling like the Black Dragon God game planned that move. It's been a go-to technique here.
Break.
Try to get some regular moves off. Black Dragon God needs to catch his breath while he waits. Ken's right position.
Break.
He's quite content to return to the mat to deliver the armbar.
Hey-ya! Hey-ya!
Ken working those kicks with partial success. Pulls his man down though into the rear choke.
Hey-ya!
Middle kick there. Dragon God. Ken with the reversal into the ankle lock, heel hook, whatever you call that.
Give up.
Black Dragon God takes advantage of the opportunity to make his own submission attempt. Getting close to 15 minutes here. I have to figure each man's got to be worn down to the point where just about any submission could do. Black Dragon God wins the
Give up.
striking contest there, but he finds himself in another quandary there. Predicament. Huh. Hear the crowd all of a sudden come alive there and cheer these guys on? Seems like they're looking a little tired, a little fatigued. The crowd's like, "Come on, we believe in you. Let's see a good finish." Back to the ankle.
Give up.
In the corner there, we see the Jumbo Mart logo there at the front there. Turnbuckle at the front. They are still with us. This is their second year, the 2-year contract. And just outright punches to the face, not legal. In theory. The ref is enforcing it this time. Black Dragon God landing more of those middle kicks. Had some success with that. Low kick. Doesn't it seem like Ken's starting to falter? Yeah. That's not the first time Ken just sort of dropped his arms and hung his head and just needed to catch his breath. Just when I started to notice a trend there, the Black Dragon God capitalized on it, and he gets the victory. So 82%, not quite the standard we'd established in this particular event, but I think for its type of match, it was pretty good. I got into it myself. And it's not pure pro wrestling in that it's mixed martial arts adapted to pro wrestling. So maybe some people weren't in love with it. That's why not as high a match evaluation. But this is still part of this organization, and I don't mind running it. It's a nice change, I think, from the standard type of match. So, a blue sweep so far. After 4 matches, as you look down the left side, everyone emerging from the blue corner has won. If Ace, Matt Gibson, can keep up that trend, he will regain the Dramatic Fight Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. As he comes down the ramp, it's no exaggeration to say that this man was the heart and soul of Dramatic Fight Wrestling before that organization went defunct. He had to turn over his belt to join this organization. But now he has a chance to ply his trade on a bigger stage here in Canada. And this is the man standing in the way of Ace Matt Gibson establishing legitimacy here. For the wise man Ted Axel is the $50,000 champion and one of the bigger names here in singles action. Eats a clothesline there. Started off. Boston Crab as we flop around across the Lit Cola main sponsor logo. Ted Axel with a $50,000 vertical suplex. Attacks the limb there, goes after the leg. And the arm twist, shoulder smashes. Champ looking pretty good so far. Who's more motivated?
Give up.
The ace to try to establish that he belongs here? Or the wise man who very much wants to make sure that his position's not called into question by having some guy from a smaller organization come by and take his title? That wouldn't be good for the $50,000 reputation. So it looked like the ace was appealing to the crowd there a little bit, maybe relying on his own popularity in America, which is S. And maybe counting on some... that's quite a takedown. I don't know if we've seen that before. I don't even know what to call that. Maybe the ace also... supposing that the crowd might be inclined to boo Ted Axel. Floors him with the clothesline, but the champ comes back with a DDT.
Give up.
Sees back momentum, crossface, chicken wing. 3 minutes, counter kick up high. With the big boot. Ace was going for the clothesline there, but he got bowled over. Arm drag takedown though. Classic.
Break.
With the Boston Crab, but we are in the ropes. We require a break. DDT again. Wise man with the arrogant cover. The one-footed cover. Bit of mind games there, perhaps. Get the challenger frustrated. He's already probably very emotional here. He's the challenger as he seeks to regain the belt that he never really lost. DDT of his own. And then the Boston Crab. Elbow to the foundation again, though.
5 minutes
And then
gone.
eats a punch. So they're trading punches. Why not turn this into a bit of a brawl? And now you're going to see the Phoenix Plex. Maybe not the perfect Plex, but hey. Ted Axel, the blonde-haired guy, just like Mr. Perfect. And there's the Teddy Twister.
Give up.
One of those crowd-pleasing names, at least. Back to the crossface chicken wing. Running shoulder tackle by the ace, but drop toe hold in reply. Now we'll see the European stretch, I believe he calls it. Regal stretch. So both men have tried the submission game. We've seen several times. Similar strategies. Both been trying wear downs.
One.
Both have tried DDTs. Surprise roll up again there into a possible cover. Huh. Well, maybe the ace should stop with that technique of Irish whipping your guy and then just waiting for him to smash into you. That's not working out. As the champ regains control.
Give up.
He's got some sort of reverse armbar submission attempt across the Lit Cola main sponsor logo. And I shouldn't mind mentioning Lit Cola a few times because they're paying us a lot of money. And then, chin lock variation on the camel clutch. So this is turning into a bit of an I quit match almost. It just seems like it seems to be the main method guys have been trying to get this pin is oh wow, crossface, chicken wing, back suplex, devastating. I mean, is there a little bit of pride here? As we see that some sort of fireman's carry slam. Maybe this is a point of pride here. Maybe both these men don't want to just win. Want to make a point with the other man of who really should have this belt. By all rights, it should belong to Matt Gibson. But politics, economics, etc. being what it is, it does currently belong to Ted Axel. Vertical suplex out of the ring. And whatever you think about how the title changed hands,
3, 4,
bottom line right now
5, 6,
is that
7,
the title is for whoever can claim it.
10, 11,
This is the first true fair fight between these two competitors. And the winner will definitely have a case for deserving this belt. Either the ace never should have lost it, or maybe his time to step down has come. Who will prove what point here in this first title match of year 3? Wow. Spine buster. Reminiscent of Triple H. Rodeo armbreaker. Should we call that the Triple Ace spine buster, since this is the ace Matt Gibson? Eats a kick to the ribs, however. Axel death drop. Eats a shot to the gut in reply, though. Some variation on the DDT, but the ace is tired out. Maybe he's not quite used to this level of physicality, because he was a dominant heavyweight champion in DFW. We'll look at his title history at some point. Can't necessarily speak for the level of competition in DFW. They did go out of business, whereas we're a thriving organization. Is it possible that the ace has never faced anyone quite like the wise man? That being said, though, he's looking just fine, though. I mean, this is... Where are we at now? It's 14 minutes. It's absolutely been a back-and-forth match. Both guys have done very well. Gibson looks like he's charging up. Charging clothesline. He's a little bit tired. Power slam looks impressive into a pinning combination. 2.9, that close to taking his belt back. He's got to believe it's his belt. Superman punch. Wise man Ted Axel. Appealing to the crowd, he gets some cheers. He is popular in America. But the surprise roll-up got him. Did the ace cost himself? He took a moment. See, now Ted Axel is appealing to the crowd. Now that the job is done. Matt Gibson maybe foolishly took moments, precious moments away to appeal to the crowd. Did the ace screw himself? Did pride and whatever else get the better of him at the moment of truth? He should have stayed on his man. He had a 2.9. It was razor close. The finish was within anyone's grasp, and as we just saw. And then when he gave Ted Axel a moment to recover, that's when we got the finish. The surprise roll-up. $50,000 roll-up. $50,000 champion still. Wiseman Ted Axel defends the Dramatic Fight Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. 99% match evaluation. Went over 15 minutes. We might have to see this again because it was close at, a lot of the time. I mean, it was 2.9 for the ace. I don't think Ted Axel had anything like that. It was the surprise that got him. And so, yeah, maybe that match was 51% the ace. We might need to see this again. But for now, still, $50,000 champion. So before we forget DFW altogether, one of the challengers for Canada's Tag Team Championship, Mr. Stoic, Eddie Owens, who was the other holder of the DFW Tag Championship, along with Ace Matt Gibson. He's first in the ring, followed by his Canadian cousin. Just Keep Fighting, KO, Kevin Owens, and the Just Keep Fighting mantra might be critical here as they face the awesome, the dominant Team Terrible. Jason and the Bear, Canada's tag team champions. The two heavies start off, although the Bear is probably super heavy. Even, geez, I almost want to say Kevin's super heavy too. He's thick. And he eats a bear hug just now. Not too thick to be bear hugged. Escapes it relatively quickly though and lands a clothesline. Floors the Bear. Well, I mean, with his size properly executed, why shouldn't Kevin do well against the Bear in some spots? Was that an eye rake we saw? Probably a good idea too. I think it's safe to say you should bend every rule you can if if the challenge ahead of you is a bear. Bear showing some technical skills there, securing the takedown. Jumping and charging around wildly. Bit of a chess match a bit between these two. You almost wouldn't expect it. You would have just perhaps expected a brawl. Huh? Wow, okay, interesting. Almost a sign of mutual respect there. They weren't quite sure what to do with each other and they backed off at the same time. Don't tell me this has been an even match so far. It should be very rare for matches including Team Terrible as Jason tosses Mr. Stoic out of the ring. Gets tossed in return. Irish whip arm drag takedown. Flying arm drag takedown. Vertical suplex. Tosses the challenger into the blue corner. Wow. Counter. Jumping. Sidekick. To the mask, I believe it was. Was it not? But then, undaunted, Jason uses the mask as a weapon. Headbutt. Sidewalk slam. Now we'll trade shots. Advantage should be to Jason here with the armor. But that's a heavy guy landing shots against him. As we see the frog splash from the big man. Double axe handle. We'll get our second dose of big versus big. KO thwarts the double team. Does not thwart the takedown, however. We'll see some of that guillotine choke. We're in the ropes, however. It's a bit early for a submission, but when it comes to the Bear, seems like all bets are kind of off, aren't they? History has shown we can see some surprisingly early finishes. It is next level strength. What Terrible Ted brings into this ring. Being an actual bear. Standing guillotine. Bit early. Kevin Owens, very tough, escapes that. Makes the tag. Now that he's felt the strength, it was his. He decided to be the first one out of the ring that time and loses the test of strength as well. So the Bear's starting to exert his dominance now. But a counter there. Some good mat escapism there. Twice. The Bear didn't learn from the first time. And those who do not learn from their mistakes are doomed to repeat it. But now we have the standing guillotine choke across the lit portion of the Lit Cola logo. Headlock, hip toss, takeover. And Terrible Ted is handling both men right now. Both Owens's eye rake. KO perhaps desperate to change his momentum. The Bear has started to prove a bit dominant here. probably to the surprise of no one. A couple drop downs. Some nifty. Is that the third drop down? And then I don't know. Maybe Owens is getting a little bit desperate in there. He's not sure what to do. This is Bear. After 3 drop downs, it looked like he was just going to disengage, maybe go for the tag, doesn't tag, stays in there. He's not quite sure what to do about all this. Kevin Owens is a crafty veteran. He's been world champion. He's been a huge star. But has he fought a bear before?
10
It's a lot to
minutes
ask.
gone.
10 minutes gone, Maple reminds us, so not a weirdly premature finish, which we do get sometimes. Certainly by Team Terrible standards, any team that hangs in there for 10 minutes with them, they can call that a minor victory. Can Team Owens get an actual victory? Because it would mean the Canadian Tag Team Championship. Ooh, Mr. Stoic making good use of those jumping kicks. It's twice he's cranked Jason with it, but now he gets cranked himself. Vertical suplex out of the ring.
2,
And you gotta come back in to face both members of... No, Jason gets out of there. Can't stay in there forever being the non-legal man. So there's that guillotine choke again, although we're in the ropes. Thankfully for Mr. Stoic, because that finish could come any time now. Shoot. Into the neck crank. The shoot takedown. Oh. I was about to say, lucky for Team Owens, they're in at least the blue half of the ring. And as you saw, Kevin was coming in to try to make the save to break the submission attempt. But we got the submission. Mr. Stoic packs it in. So KO gets there a fraction late to save his cousin, but it did start to seem like Team Terrible had taken over the match. After some early going that you maybe couldn't draw too much from, as the match wore on, it became a terrible match. Not a bad match. I mean, you know what I mean. It's the champs. This is what they do. And still, Canada's tag team champions. So the Owens cousins, each still searching for their first Canadian championship. They've both been DFW tag champions. But Canada Gold so far eludes the Canadian Kevin Owens and his cousin. Still, Canada tag team champions. As we head into the main event, top right again, we have an average match evaluation of 90%, which is unusual to maintain that high. I've had plenty of events that end up in the 80s, but the 90s it's rare air, so I'm not sure if we've had that. If we have, I assume it was narrowly. So pressure's on a little bit for the main event. Not that there's not enough pressure already for Canada's heavyweight championship. Can these two deliver? So we can finish out with a 90% plus event in total. And this match will feature two men with very good singles records for year 2. Strongheart, 3-1. And here he is, your champion, Canada's heavyweight champion, wearing his Christmas Didn't used to be called the Christmas colors, but just because it's just Christmas just passed, I'll call them that for the moment. He's honoring that occasion with this outfit. Big Titan, 9-3 overall, 5-1. Singles action, year 2. Opens up with a clubbing blow. Strongheart ducks under the clothesline, however. It's the body slam. Test of strength, not too surprisingly, won by Big Titan. Another body slam, although Strongheart was wise enough to escape the test of strength before too long. Drop kick, back of the head. Wow. Back to the body slam is Big Titan. It's been a go-to. Early go-to. Slamming the smaller challenger around early. Then he eats the fire jumping powerbomb, not even a 1 count. It's a bit early, perhaps. Back body drop followed by drop kick to the back of the head. Just working that body slam, just throwing, just ragdolling. Smaller challenger. Double arm, suplex. Now Strongheart tries to go down low with that drop kick, but Titan evades. Bit of an avalanche clothesline there by the champion. We're into the Strongheart sleeper. Big Titan's out in short order though. Wow. Rotating back suplex. Looked like he was going to suplex away, but then he came back. Landed on the Lit Cola, main sponsor logo. Drop kicks the day's challenger. Into the armbar again. We've seen this more than once. Attempt at wear down.
1, 2,
Oof.
3,
So the champion has taken the action out of the ring.
5,
Oh boy.
6,
Slamming him around onto the floor outside. Ooh.
9,
It's been a rather brutal display so far.
11,
Strongheart, in desperation perhaps as much as anything, Irish whipping the champion into the guard wall. But again with that body slam, just the strength disparity, the power disparity on display, it seems.
5 minutes gone.
Big boot. Maple lets us know it's been 5 minutes. It's been 5 minutes of champion, really. Titan death drop. Irish whip and a big boot on the run. Body slams the challenger back into the ring again, toward the center. Vertical suplex, perhaps not the time to try that. You've already been worn down and beaten up for most of the match. That was true desperation. Strongheart just trying somehow, some way to change the complexion of this match, which has been pretty much all champion. The dragon screw leg whip. So I mentioned that he was a smaller man, but Strongheart's it's not that he's weak, he's got some strength. As we saw, that press diamond cutter. Strongheart, one of the spectacular moves that he has. One of the moves that has got him this far in his career. Again, rolling into that arm bar, but we're in the ropes. Titan taking a breath here. Throws the challenger out of the ring again.
2,
We're near the Thick Rick logo.
4,
Oh, but there's another diamond cutter.
6,
This time on the floor.
8,
Rolls the champion into the ring, which is the only place he can win the title. Well, things have not been looking great up to this point. Vertical suplex from rather high. Big Titan is pretty tall. Exchange of strikes. Strongheart is getting knocked backward, but he finds some reserves. Dropkick, but then he eats a clothesline. Both men needing to catch their breath. Chop, choppity chop. Past 9 minutes. Knee drop across the abdomen. Oh, it looked like Big Titan might have been trying for a dropkick, but Strongheart countered it. Dropkick down low. Into a rear choke. Dragon. Screw. Leg whip. Well,
10 minutes.
Big Titan might have been able to avoid that dropkick. He instead chose to engage and he ran right into it. Backflip dropkick. We're into a Strongheart sleeper. Well, Strongheart has come on of late. Look like he might have been going for that super bomb. Oh, the ring again.
1,
It's been a bit of the story of this match. Strongheart getting tossed around.
4,
It's inside the ring, outside the ring.
6,
Good counter there, though.
8,
Some sort of backflip kick. You see the shot of the crowd there
10, 11,
cheering on this title match for Canada's Heavyweight Championship. Vertical suplex back toward the middle. Big Titan samurai bow, as I've named it. It was sort of on a whim that I called it that back in, who knows, year 1. Rotating back suplex. It's not to say that Big Titan has any Japanese origins. Who knows? Maybe he trained there. Maybe some of his early years might have been spent there. Oh. Fold him in half. Back suplex. Scrapes his man up only to club him down. Double axe handle. Goes for a clothesline there. Spear. Titan spear. Toward the middle of the ring. 2.9. It's not quite enough. We're into 13 minutes now. Double arm suplex. Big Titan appealing to the Canadian crowd. Catches breath maybe for one last push. It's got to feel like this title defense is within reach. It would be the first title defense. If you remember when we talked early in the episode, it's part of the Titan resolution that he demands 3 title defenses of himself, or he will retire from this organization. Maybe not retire from wrestling, but he will leave Canada's wrestling promotion. And that's at stake right now. We just saw the 2.9. It's closer to happening than I even realized. This resolution could be all screwed up in attempt 1. No. Instead of 1, it's 3, as in 3 count. That's the goal. That's the stated goal. 3 title defenses. Phase 1 complete. But Strongheart took it to a 2.9 in nearly 15 minutes. Canadian crowd approves as the first event of year 3 ends with a Canadian victory in the retaining of Canada's Heavyweight Championship. So, I don't know, is there grounds for rematch here too? We saw 2.9 by the challenger. Anytime you get that razor close to winning the championship, there's suggestion that the match was close enough. Definitely consider a rematch for February. In any case, 82%, so that will not keep our 90% match evaluation on the card overall, but that was always a lot to ask. Still, rather entertaining match. Anytime you get over 80%, it's a job well done. And still, Canada's heavyweight champion. Look at that average card rating, 89%. Just to taunt me a little bit. It's like, yeah, you were this close, but not quite. So, as we just take a quick review of the list there, we had the blue sweep going, but they were all for the non-title matches. All the champions retained on this occasion. Okay, so great success anyway, despite the less than 90. So we'll get our first look now at what is promotion changing revenue level, because we'll now be factoring in the new sponsorship, year 3 sponsorship income over 2.7 million. So monthly balance. So we're profiting close to 2.5 million. So if we retain that, you know, as a standard going forward, then it'll be a pretty impressive year-end total. We shall have to see